Okay, question. If samurai are so loyal and they're famed for their loyalty, why is it that samurai leaders used to retire earlier and pass power on to their sons to stop people rebelling and going against and power snatching? So my name's Anthony Cummins and we're doing this, the History of Bushido, and for the book of Bushido, which is out February 2022. So either pre-order it or get yourself a copy. Right, basically there is something called Inkyo, right? And that sometimes refers to emperors, and there's different terms for it. But on the whole, what we have is this idea that people in power don't just, in samurai times, don't just get to the point where they're like, and I die, and I'm sure my son will carry on. They actually relinquish power. Some of the most powerful samurai did this. I think Tokugawa Ieyasu did it. There's lots of samurai who get to a certain point and they retire. Now this happens with all the emperors in Japan up to a certain point. It even happened recently in Japanese history. An emperor retired instead of died. And the reason they do this, the emperors, is because originally there was two lines. Well, not originally. At some point there was two succession lines, and they used to, after 10 years, jump between the two to make sure it stayed the powerhouse maintained. Now samurai as well do the same thing. So the leader of the house, the head of the house, will say, right, we're doing this, we're going to do this, this is my goal. They'll try to achieve that goal, or they'll get to a certain point in their life where they're like, I've probably got about 10 years left before I die. And what they do is they actually then say, right, I am retiring. I'm going to monk orders. Let me get the correct word for you. So nudo. So nudo means to enter the path, they enter the religious ways. And what they do is they say, oh, I'm going to become a monk. They shave their heads. I'm not a samurai anymore. But they were politically powerful. So these retired emperors, retired samurai were still the powerhouses. They gave the power to their son, and it was a period of transition. So what happened was all the ceremony, and when you go into your samurai camp or you go into your castle or manor house, the son is now on the dais. He's like, and I am the main man. But in the background, in a monastery somewhere or in a local temple, the real lord is doing the power. He's saying what's going on. Tokugawa Ieyasu, as I say, did this type of thing. But there are many examples of that sort of thing going on, where the transference of power was a gradual thing that moved over. So one of the issues is Takeda Shingen. So Takeda Shingen died unexpectedly, and they had to try to, he said, I need you to hide my body, don't let this out, because people would have gone after the throne. It's one of those, like, the English nobles, if you like, and the English kings are actually different houses. The House of Tudor, the House of Stuart, and all that, just like Game of Thrones. It's England. I think apparently Game of Thrones is based on the War of the Roses, because it was like, my throne, my throne, my throne, my throne. But yet when that person is on the throne, everyone's bowing in allegiance, kissing the hands, giving vows. The minute they die or there's a gap, everybody runs for the throne and starts killing everybody else. You know what I mean? So, but apparently, if you've not seen it, in the end, Bran gets the throne. Bran gets the throne. So anyway, this is the point I'm trying to make, is actually samurai loyalty is not as loyal as you think. This idea that the hordes of samurai are willing to die for their master is actually an illusion, that because they can't grab the power. Many are there loyal, but there's many power-hungry samurai as well. So when we're thinking about Bushido, you have to sort of think, okay, is Bushido really as we think it is, like the loyal samurai stood there and very happy? Actually, there are many people trying to grab for the throne. So the Japanese created a system of retirement so that the powerhouse, who nobody could go against, retired, grew up the next powerhouse, and then they were in the background as a shadow. They died. This one got to a certain point, retired to the shadow, and grew a new one. And that's how the Tokugawa family lasted for 250 years, and that's how the imperial line lasted for 2,000 years. But of course they go through their own changes and movements. So there you go. That is the next stage in you understanding Bushido. Make sure, guys, you do get a copy of the book of Bushido, whether it's out or you pre-order it now. It really does help, and I hopefully this will really sort of like show you how we should look at Bushido in a different way.